When my son was born with Clubfoot, we had no idea what the next few years were going to look like. The casts, the surgeries, the braces, the appointments. It was overwhelming. But every single week, we drove to the same hospital, a place that ended up changing our lives forever. And it made me realize there's something that nobody talks about when moving to the Chicago suburbs. Did you know that children's hospitals make up only 3% of the hospitals in the US, yet they treat nearly half of all the children that are admitted to a hospital? Now, in my years helping families move to the Chicago suburbs, I've seen people make a decision that works for them right now, only to be moving a few years later when the kids are on the way. So in this video, I'm going to share my personal story of me and my family's journey, what I wish I had known only a few years earlier, and where you should be looking if healthcare is at the top of your priority list when moving to the Chicago suburbs. I was at the 20-week ultrasound with my wife. The ultrasound tech was doing the measurements, the photos, and then she got to the feet and I could see the concern in her face. You see, my wife hadn't noticed it yet, but I immediately did. That look, the change in her demeanor sent chills down my spine. You see, we have a perfectly healthy 5-year-old girl at this point, so I didn't know what we were in store for her. I sat there in fear, quietly thinking, is this guy gonna walk? Is he handicapped? What was our life about to turn into? So we sat down with the doctor, and that's when we heard it for the first time. Club feet. You see, your foot move in 3 different planes or axes. And clubfoot is a condition where a baby's foot is twisted inward and downward, making the sole point inward towards the groin. So now we understood kind of what we were looking at, kinda. But we had to do additional genetic testing or trisomy testing, and they explained what every trisomy marker meant to us. See, we didn't know what else we could be in store for besides club feet. Now that's how my son's story started, and we'll get back to that here shortly. But if you're considering making a move to the Chicago suburbs and you need help making sense of everything here, just feel free to call or text me. Here's my cell phone number. Now, going through all that changed how I look at where we live. Most people choose suburbs based on commute, schools, or house size, but nobody talks about access to great healthcare until you need it. You see, we have Rush Copley, Edwards, Advocate Children's Hospital. We are lucky enough to have a plethora of great hospitals, but when you think children and hospitals, you have to think Lurie's Children. And I will tell you, I will never go anywhere else in my life. Lurie's Children is known for being downtown by the Mag Mile, but they have outpatient centers in Winfield, Geneva, Arlington Heights, Westchester, and Northbrook. Now, Northwest Central DuPage Hospital, or CDH as we all call it here, is known for their incredible pediatric specialists, and often this is where the surgeries are done. Up until my son's diagnosis, I did not value, at all, like I do now, how close these hospitals were to us. Northwestern Medicine, or Delnor in Geneva, is one that holds the Lurie's Outpatient Center, and it's just 16 minutes from our house. And here's why it's important. Every week, for 5 weeks, we had to go for plaster cast replacements, and we did this right before going to work at 7:30 in the morning. Now, most people, they move to the western suburbs for space, parks, great schools, but one of the biggest advantages here is the access to world-class pediatric care. If you live in Geneva or King County, you're typically close to Northwestern or CDH. You're minutes from Delnor Hospital. You have quick access to Lurie's outpatient locations. If you live in Naperville, Aurora, you got Edwards Hospital, another top-tier pediatric. You have Rush Copley's. You also have Downers Grove or South Elmhurst for Advocate Children's. And if you live in Yorkville, Montgomery, or Plainfield, which is more south, you're going to have Rush Copley, or you still get easy access to the Naperville hospitals. Here's a super quick breakdown of the main neighborhoods and what you can expect price-wise. Mill Creek, which is located the furthest west in Geneva, offers newer homes, tons of parks and trails, golf courses, and most homes fall between $450,000 and $800,000. But on the average, you're looking at about $550,000 right now. Pepper Valley, established in the 70s with big yards and mature trees, typically it's about $500,000 to $600,000. It's a great value, and it's just a mile from Geneva's downtown. Now, if you're looking for a golf course community, you're going to be looking at Eaglebrook. It has custom homes. Most buyers are landing right now between $650,000 and $900,000, with an average landing around $750,000 right now. Now, downtown Geneva, it's walkable, historic, it's near the river and 3rd Street. Now, the small, charming homes, they're about $350,000 or $450,000. And anything that's renovated, historic, larger, or close to downtown, you're between $700,000 and $1.5 million. Now, if you want something affordable, Eastside Geneva offers the best affordable mix. Many homes here fall between $350,000 and $550,000, depending on updates and size. No matter your price point, Geneva's going to have it all, from $350,000 to $1.5 million. Now it just comes down to, where do you really want to live in the town? Now let's get back into a little bit of my son's story and what happened. We did the genetic testing, there were no trisomy markers, and now it's just a waiting game. You see, they don't know how bad club feet is really going to be until they meet the kid at birth. So we met our little guy at 39 weeks, and for the first week, you get a little scrunch snuggles. That's what my wife calls it. And then you get into serious business. Weekly cast replacements for 5 to 6 weeks. Then you go into surgery for their Achilles tendon. They cut it, recast, and this allows the tendon to heal and lengthen for their foot. From then, you get measured for boots and bar for what is the Ponseti method. Now, this is where the boots are worn 23 hours on, 1 hour off for 4 to 5 months. It's like a maximum security prison sentence. Now, from 6 months up into 5 years, they wear this at bedtime, 12 hours. Now, this is a 90+% effective method that they'll be perfectly healed in 5 years. Real quick, because this doctor and her team changed our lives and gave me all new respect for medicine and the field, I want to highlight her. Her name is Dr. Laura Lemke, and I'm going to leave all her details below in case you or anyone you know that's experiencing or will experience the journey and need to know where to go with your kids. I will never be able to say good enough things or convey how truly amazing this lady is. Here's the greatest lesson that I've learned. Not every family goes through Clubfoot, but every family eventually faces something unexpected. And where you live determines the resources that you really can rely on. Whether it's early morning specialist appointments, emergency care, consistent care when you need it for long-term treatment, a place you can trust and where you're not afraid is the most important thing. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the Chicago suburbs, especially if you're raising a family, I'd love to help you find the right area. Not just the one with the pretty houses, but the one that gives you peace of mind when life happens. Feel free to watch this video where I go over Geneva's top neighborhoods right here. I'll see you all soon.